I think for me, and I don't know how to like really word this like succinctly, but I think I do a really good job of creating a environment where it's okay to make mistakes, as long as those mistakes are learning opportunities. So that's something I really, really try to, like, anytime I'm training staff on anything new, I'm just like, hey, I messed this up for years and I still mess it up to this day.
Psychological safety, brother. Psychological safety.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I agree. Certainly psychological safety, and also I think a little bit of psychological realism. Like, it doesn't matter how much anyone knows, they didn't get there on a perfect path. None of us would know much at all if we never made mistakes. And that notion that you can learn from your mistakes, which is exactly how you make them worthwhile to have had, like, that's a pretty powerful leadership behavior as well. Because if you are afraid to make a mistake, you're going to be one of those can't decide leaders that won't take some actions to resolve problems and what have you. So I love that. It's safety for other people to make mistakes, but also safety for yourself. And I think that relates to problem solving, which I think is a pretty critical skill set for a leader at any level of an organization. You know, it's like, if you've got pretty good people skills, communication, perspective taking, self-management skills, and problem solving skills, you're mostly going to be pretty darn good at whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah, I think, it definitely requires critical thinking. I think one of the problems that I've come across, and maybe you've come across this as well, is objectivity. And, people tend to have bias, and then they tend to confirm their bias by, like, looking at certain data points in the environment. Like, I knew it, what's been your experience with that? And, like, how have you tried to help maybe break a leader out of that kind of, very narrow scope?
Yeah, well, I think you actually named a super useful tool, and that is ask questions, and particularly ask open-ended questions that might create the opportunity for someone to shift how they think about something. So I think, the higher you go in an organization, the more perceived power there is. People get a little nervous about bringing you disconfirming information, even if it is psychologically safe to do so. People have learning histories where it perhaps has not been safe to bring problems, point out someone's mistakes, and it can almost kind of create this bubble that a leader operates in, where they're not they no longer have contingencies that can shape their behavior, because their environment is kind of muddling up those natural contingencies.